I want you to know that you can change absolutely everything in your life. If you're broke, angry, upset, sad, anxious, depressed about everything that's happening in your life right now, things may not be going your way. Work is all on top of you. Your business is all over the place. Relationships are fucked. Look, I'm here to tell you that everything can change if you command it. I'm also going to tell you that reality that you see isn't necessarily real. Whatever you assume to be real is real. So therefore, if you assume something to be real, that's what's going to come up in your reality. And when I learned this, when I first started practicing this, I had no idea about any of this. But I knew that there was a higher power. I knew that there was more. And I always wanted more. I always sought more. But when I really started getting into this, when I started getting into the books, when I started paying for programs, courses, mentors, I started to find out that everything that we've been told is a complete lie. And whatever you want to be, you can become that. You can become that if you command it, but if you know how to do it. And the first thing that you must know is that your reality is not necessarily fixed. You can bend it. You can bend reality to the way you want it. You hear about some people where they just effortlessly go through life and everything is just working out for them. Everything is just working out for them. And you sometimes think, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why is it that other people can do X, Y, and Z, but I'm still stuck in the same position I am? Right? And a lot of these people, without getting spiritual, a lot of these people know that whatever they command, whatever they decide, they can call into their reality, their life, whatever you want to call it. But the first thing that you have to understand is that reality isn't fixed. You can change it the way you want it, right? And the other thing is, we talk about manifestation. We talk about these little things that people do to manifest little things over 24 hours. That's bullshit. That's all bullshit. Manifestation isn't magic. It's becoming. That's all it is. And once you start practicing these things every day, which I'm going to go into, you will start changing your life quite quickly if you stay on course to continue doing it. And that's what the challenge is. Some of us are so deep rooted in our belief systems that we've been brought up with. Some of us are religious. Some of us have been told all our lives that we ain't going to do anything. Some of us have been told that we're going to stay the same. We're going to stay in the same place for our whole life. And what happens is that these beliefs get stuck within our subconscious mind, and that's what controls us on a daily basis. I did another video just explaining about how our subconscious mind is governing 95% of our mind. So look, like I said, the first thing that you need to really grasp is your reality is not real and it's not fixed. The way I want you to perceive reality is look at it as a mirror, right? When you walk up to the mirror, you see you. If you try to change something in the mirror, it's not necessarily going to change until you change you, right? So what I mean by that is the reflection in the mirror is what's going to show you whatever is in front of the mirror. Look at your life as a mirror. Everything that you're doing on a daily basis today, are you showing up as a person that you want to become? Are you talking to yourself the way your successful self would be? If you see yourself in a successful business, or you see yourself as a successful, influencer, or as a president of an organization where you've worked your way up, are you making decisions today from that person, or are you still in that lack mindset from where you are today? Because when you really grasp the mirror effect, that changes everything. It changes the way you look at yourself on a daily basis. It changes your decisions that you make on a daily basis. And it also governs how you go about your day every single day. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, who do you see? Is it the person that you would want to be? Or is it the person that you really, really want to move away from? And if it is that, the person that you don't want to be, then start making changes today. You have to remember that the universe loves speed and clarity, Because all the universe knows how to say is yes. Whatever you command it. The universe is not something that is outside of you as a machine operator and just saying yes to you. Your universe is your thoughts and your imagination. Your imagination is a part of your intuition and everything else, your mental faculties. And once you can understand that everything that you think is the universe is already you, right? So imagine two parts of you. Imagine what the thoughts that you get in your mind and the universe in the other, right? Is everything that you're saying to yourself reflecting back to you in a positive way or in a negative way? Because all the universe is saying is okay and giving you whatever you want, because you are a part of it and you decide whatever you want. So clarity and confidence and speed are the things that the universe it loves. It doesn't like people who sit around and overthink and, ponder on thoughts and beliefs that they know that they shouldn't. The universe doesn't like that. It loves speed. Why do you think that some of the most influential, most successful people in the world today, whether it's in business or whatever it may be, they decide under 30 seconds? A lot of these people will decide very, very quickly. So the first thing is first, right? Who is it you want to become? Who is it you want to become? And look, a lot of you guys who watch this, you don't know me. I had to learn all of this when I had a heart attack. I had 3 cardiac arrests. When I had 3 cardiac arrests, I was put in a coma on chemotherapy, nitrates, immunotherapy, whatever it may be. And when I came out of the coma, I had so many different experiences, but long story short, they told me that I wasn't going to be able to walk for a long time. And because when you come out of a coma, your limbs, your muscles are just done. You can't function, you can't walk, you can't move. And I decided that I was going to walk. There was no stopping me. I laid in that bed every single day, day in, day night. And all I kept imagining myself was sitting up and walking. And I did that in 5 days. And when I started walking around the ward, the doctors, the consultants were looking at me like I was some sort of ghost, because they couldn't believe it. They had never had somebody that had 3 cardiac arrests, survived what I had survived, was put on chemotherapy, life support, coma, and decided to walk. And that only happened because I made a decision, and there was no going back. After I had made that decision, I made it my number one goal to be able to not show anybody else, but for me to be able to know that I could do it, and it was succeeded, done. So, who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Decide now. Don't sit there thinking, I'd like to do this, and I'd like to do that, and I'd like to do this. Reality doesn't work like that. If you are giving confused signals out there, what are your commands going to come back as? Right? Decide who you want to be. This is who I want to be. This is what I want. This is how I want to act. Right? That's how you need to decide. And put that person in your mind every single day. What does that person do on a daily basis? How does that person act? Who does that person chill with? Where does that person go? Where does that person feel best at? What you have to remember is the person that you want to become feels very different to the person that you are today, right? A lot of us are stuck, unmotivated, completely depressed, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? And we live in this loop, and this loop just keeps happening, keeps coming into our life, and we have no idea how to break it. You break it by deciding. You break it by deciding that you do not want to be that person, and you want to become who you want to become. Decide that today. Write it down. Journal about it. A lot of people will start looking at this, and be like, "Oh, journal. I'm not that person. I'm not that guy." Some people think they're too cool for things. When you journal, you create neural pathways in your mind, in your brain. Writing is a very, very powerful thing. Write down in a journal, this is who I want to become. This is who I want to become. And read it every day. You see, Bob Proctor used to say, you can only become whatever your self-image is. So what is your self-image? Because the person that you want to become has a very different self-image to the person that you are today. So if you want to become that person, then you have to shift that self-image. And the only way you're going to be able to shift that self-image is by repetition. Because your subconscious only knows one thing, and that's whatever you feed it. So if you're feeding it something, feed it whatever you want it to become and be, or whatever you want to become and be. Feed it that. Read that self-image every day. Read it. Read it every single day. Read it all day. Do whatever you need to do. Read it. Because what's going to happen then is you'll start feeling good about yourself. The more you read this to yourself, you'll start feeling good about yourself. And what's actually happening is that you're raising your vibration, right? Your vibration is your currency. The universe doesn't know words, essentially, except from the I am that I am. Once you start raising your vibration, you raise your frequency. That's your fucking currency, right? That's your currency right there. Fuck your money currency. That's your currency. So how are you spending your currency? If you know that your vibration is your currency, right? How are you spending it? Spend it wisely. Bring it up every day. Feel good. Read that self-image and listen to yourself backwards. Listen to it. Listen to it. Feel good about it. Because that's the signals that you're giving out there. You raise your vibration, you raise your frequency, and that gives it a command. That gives the universe a command. Okay, that's how he's feeling. Let's give him more of that. That's how they're feeling. Okay. Oh, she wants to be like that. Okay, cool. Right? Become that self-image. It's going to take time. I mean, a lot of people who know what they want and can see it very clearly and decide, then reality bends. Remember, reality isn't fixed. Things will happen completely out of nowhere. Things will just start moving into your life, and you'll be like, oh shit. Oh shit, I was looking at that person the other way. Oh, that company. Oh shit, okay. Oh wow. I needed to be here, so I'm at the right place at the right time. Right? All of these things will start happening. And a lot of people talk about visualization. A lot of people don't know how to visualize. A lot of people don't have the capacity to be able to visualize. But remember, if I asked you, how do you think? The only answer that you should have for me is that you think in pictures, right? Imagine a movie in front of the screen of your mind. That is your visualization. And every single one of us thinks in pictures every single day. Some of us are so in tune with our negative beliefs that we think about the problems that are not even there anymore. Some of us will think about the problems that we had last week, about the arguments that we had last week and what we should have said, or the things that we could have done. The more you're in that loop, you are creating the same scenarios in your life over and over again every single day. And what will happen is that it will take you so much longer to come out of this loop than it is to be able to try to change yourself. Because remember, repetition is key. And what you'll find is that the more you're trying to have positive beliefs and positive visualizations, the negative ones are going to keep coming. They're going to keep knocking on the door. Why? Because you've imprinted them in your mind. And this is why repetition is so key. It's boring. Habits are boring. But small changes, small habits are what creates the biggest waves. Right? Start visualizing yourself as the person you want to become. And a tip that I have when I tell my clients to visualize, and some of my clients have seen results quickly. when I give them some of the tasks and the challenges to do, and they look at me and they say to me sometimes like, why are we doing this? Until they do it and they see the results. It's impactful, and it's very, very rewarding once you can understand how reality works, right? So visualize things. Close your eyes and visualize, and get in a trance of being completely relaxed, because you want to be in an alpha or a theta wave, a brain wave. Okay, we go into that in another video, but you want to be incredibly relaxed, because that's when your subconscious is listening more so. Remember, your subconscious is 95% of the mind. They told you that you only use 5% of your mind, but they never told you why, right? And visualize. Get into that trance and visualize. Visualize yourself. How do you look? Who are you with? How do you talk? How are you showing up? How do you dress? Where are you going? What cars do you drive? Are you in your dream home? What does that home look like? How does it smell? How does it look? Where are you walking to? What do you have in that house? Decorate it in your mind. Everything that you want, put it in your visualization. Visualize for a minimum of 10 minutes. Every single day, morning and night. Every single day. Visualize, visualize, visualize. Because the reason we say visualize is not only necessarily to imprint it in your subconscious, because remember, you think in pictures. So when you think in pictures, you're giving a signal to your subconscious mind to create that. Okay, the more you keep doing it. And then the key thing is the more you do this, is that it keeps your vibration to a certain level. And remember what I said, your vibration, your frequency is your currency. So the reason we visualize is to get ourselves in that state, right? Because if I just told you to act as if you already whoever you want to become, you'll be like, rap, like, where the fuck do I start, right? So these are the tools for you to become, or keep that vibration for you to become, for you to embody that person. Right? These are the steps that you must take and the time it takes. And this is every day, right? And you and do these when you visualize. The most important thing is your emotion. Your emotion is the most important. It's almost the language of the universe. The feelings are the language of the universe. It's part of your vibration. It's part of your frequency. When you feel good, when you're thinking and you're feeling, your brain and heart coherence is at a level where the universe is like, okay, now we know what they want. Now we know what they want. Because the brain and the heart coherence is something that is incredibly unstudied. Neuroscience, quantum principles now show us what the mystics used to say hundreds of years ago. And people knew about this years ago, but they never told you, they never told me, until I spent 6 figures. Right? So feelings are the language of the universe. But you have to remember, when you're doing these things, like when you're visualizing and you're staying in that state of vibration of feeling unbelievably grateful for everything that you have. You're in your house, you're in your dream cars, you're in everything that you want to wear, and you're in your perfect job, or your business is thriving, you're going to holidays, vacations, you're really enjoying yourself. That feeling is the feeling you want to keep all day, every day. That is the language. That is the language of the universe. But the struggle is things like doubt. Because we're all constantly looking over our shoulder, like, oh, we don't have what we asked for. Scarcity, fear is an incredibly low vibration. We get scared, but what if? Do you know what I'm saying? So when you start removing these emotional baggage, the resistance that you cause, that's when things start moving in your life. That's when things start moving with your life. And one of the things that I tell some of my clients to do is listen to music, man. Listen to music. You notice how this is the power of your subconscious mind, by the way. Notice that if there was a song that you used to listen to years ago and you haven't listened to it in a long time, but you put it on and you still know the words, right? Nobody asks this question as to how. But the reason why you know the lyrics so well is because you listened to that repetitively a long time ago or whenever it was. And now it's stuck within your subconscious mind. That is exactly the same way beliefs, limiting beliefs, fear, scarcity, how they all fit in your mind. So the easiest way to be able to get rid of these things is, again, through repetition. And that's the reason why I say repetition. Now, Neville Goddard is a great man who everybody should look up and definitely read more of. He always said, you must trust divine timing. Everything that you have in your life is within divine timing. However, you must act as if the person you want to become. And what he went on to say was, the gap between desire and manifestation, or being the person that you want to become, is belief. So if you believe it so much so that you are going to become the person that you want to become, there is no way that reality won't bend for you. However, you must act as if you were the person that you want to become. So, how does that person dress? How does that person talk? Where does that person go? What does that person do? Who do they chill with? All of these things you must bring to your life now. Bring it now. And when I say that to my clients, they're like, how the fuck do I actually start? Because I've been living my life, and this is the reason why coaching is so important. Because you have somebody who's going to tell you exactly what to do, and you have to hold yourself accountable because you've paid for it. Now, there was a lot of information that I already knew before I was coached. I spent over $150,000 in total on everything that I have learned because I wanted to understand why I survived. And I wanted to understand how my life changed so quickly when there are people still, I'm from the UK. There's people still in the UK, whether it's family, friends, or whatever, who are still in the same position as they were before I had my 3 cardiac arrests. And since then, I have gone. I've started a couple of businesses. I have completely changed my health. I now live in Dubai. It's a completely different life, and my clients absolutely love being held accountable, because their lives are changing very, very quickly. So the reason why we talk about coaching is because you have somebody to tell you exactly what to do, how to do it. That's the truth. I needed it. I still need it. Everybody needs it. It depends on which level you are at in terms, because there's always someone better than you. Always somebody doing better than you. And if you strive to do better for yourself and your family, then you must become better. And it's time to really grasp, what are you actually going to do in this life? This life is not for you to work all day, every day, being upset, angry, going home and struggling. This life ain't for that. This life is to become. This life is to feed your family the best that you possibly can. Seeing your kids strive, seeing your kids in abundant lifestyle, watching your kids go on holidays and vacations. Experience is the one thing that this life has to offer. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. Like, I'm telling you that because I have gone from death to where I am today. And when you're on your deathbed, you don't care about necessarily how much money you made or the places that you went, etc. But what you do remember is how you made people feel. Right? If I had died that moment, my family wouldn't have had shit. We live in Dubai now. My daughter loves it. We were told we weren't even going to have kids because I was on chemotherapy and I was supposed to have IVF, and I didn't need it in the end. I didn't need IVF. So really start thinking about what you want to do, who you want to become, and why you want to do it. There is always a why behind everything. My why was my family, and it still is, and it is for most of us. It is for most of us. So look, belief, decision, confidence, and speed are the other things that you need to do. And you must remember, like I said, right? Reality bends to those who dare to be. Reality will bend for those who dare to be. Some people just become, and you can become too. Please don't sit in your mind every single day and paint pictures of the things that you do not want. It is not giving you anything that you need. Start becoming somebody that you know that you can become. I've had some of my clients who have been stuck in their businesses at a ceiling every month, and they have no idea why. And I told them why. I told them why they're at where they're at. And once we start doing the inner work, because your inner world is an expression of your outer world is an expression of your inner world, right? Everything that happens from the inside is reflected on the outside. Okay? Ask the person who you look up to, who you idolize. Is their self-image the same as yours is? It's definitely not. It's definitely not. So one of the tricks that I used to have actually is, especially when I had to make difficult decisions, and I used to, like, sometimes we're in a belief system where we're like, shit, we need to overthink, we need to make the right decision, we need to do this, and a lot of the time I'll make quick decisions because that's, I'm a risk taker. And one of the things that I do, which I would advise anybody to do, is close your eyes and imagine a table. And around that table are 4 seats. Okay? You take 1 seat. The other 3 seats are for the 3 people that you idolize and look up to. The people who are business moguls, personal development gurus, influencers, I don't know, whoever it may be. It doesn't matter who it is. People that you believe that if they were your friend, they would tell you the best things to do, the best case scenario, and what to do, right? Imagine yourself on that table with those other 3 people, okay? Hand the baton over to each person and ask them, what should I do? Stay quiet, be quiet, and receive the message that they're giving. A lot of the time, you will give yourself the message as them because you already know what's right, but you're overthinking the actual decision. So go around the table, become that person, or wait for the message that they send you, because they will send it if you listen effectively, right? And take the decision. Because a lot of us need that validation. A lot of us are very lonely in our lives. We may have loads of friends and family around us, but we're actually really, really lonely. And when you do things like this, it makes a big, big difference. So, look, your habits are what create everything. Who is it that you're going to become? What does that person do on a daily basis, right? Are they scrolling on TikTok? Are they scrolling on Instagram? Are they just sending hate messages on social media? Are they going to work and just watching the clock, right? Because those are traits of somebody who will never make it. Those are traits of somebody who is living in scarcity, somebody who's on an incredibly low vibration. Or are you somebody who knows that you want more, that you were built for more, that you know that the inner you is calling out for more? And if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure that every single one of you wants more. There is no reason as to why you've come to this video, and if you've watched it to the end, brilliant, because these are the tools that I use to completely get out of my reality, so to speak. And so can you. But you must believe it. You must decide today that that's who you want to become. This is who it is. And you're going to do everything in your power to do it. The power that you have is unbelievable. There is not another person in this world like you. So you must do whatever it is to become that person. And look, if you have questions, drop them in the comment section. You can add me on Instagram. I'm not a big social media person, but I am going to be. Because I need to start posting a little bit more. But I'm helping my clients completely change their lives now. And I help a lot of business owners who feel stuck at a ceiling. And this is my calling, to be able to give back and watch people strive. Because I know what it's like to completely lose everything. So I'm going to just round up. Decide who you want to be. Create a self-image, script or journal. Read that every day. Visualize the end goal. Where are you? Who are you? House, emotions. Get the emotions involved in it, day and night. Do that day and night. Act as if the person you want to become. Your reality will bend quicker than you think if you continue doing it. There is no way that reality cannot catch up. There is no way that reality cannot catch up. So when you're doing these things, you're going to start receiving. Keep the energy flowing. When you receive, give. And it doesn't always have to be money. Just keep the energy flowing. I live in Dubai. We have a lot of delivery drivers who come to our houses, drop our orders off, and it's very hot outside. And sometimes we'll just give them bottles of water. Sometimes we'll give them, tips are all done online. But just give. Give. The more you gracefully give, the more you will receive. And that is one of the most beautiful things about the world that we live in, because energy doesn't lie. And when you start ramping up your energy, it's going to listen. So, look, if you have any questions, drop me them in the comments. I'm here to be able to help. And if you want a one-on-one discovery call about how I can potentially help you with your business or in your situation, drop me a message. I'll put the links in the bios, and I'll see you next time. Stay sharp.